there, my name is Danielle Luczak, and today I'm going to be discussing how a commonly used chemical called oxybenzone affects our coral reefs. First, I'll talk about what oxybenzone is, then how it's introduced into the environment, and lastly, how it's affecting our coral reefs. So first, I'll explain what oxybenzone is. If you come across this chemical in literature, you may also see it referred to as benzophenone 3. It's a chemical that absorbs UV light that is commonly used in sunscreens, lotions, personal care products, and even some deodorants. According to Special Chem, it's found in over 80% of sunscreens that contain chemicals, including multiple name brand products such as Hawaiian Tropic, Banana Boat, Coppertone, L'Oreal Paris, and Baby Blanket Faces. This chemical can be absorbed into the human skin. According to a study done by CDC, they detected that the chemical is found in over 90% of the U.S. population. The same study also showed that it was found in more than 400 different products. The EWG Guide to Safer Sunscreen states that the chemical hasn't been reviewed by the FDA since the late 1970s, 1978 to be exact. So this chemical that is commonly being used in sunscreens and lathered all over the skin hasn't been reviewed by the FDA on its interactions with the human body in over 40 years. Second, we'll talk about how introduction can happen. According to McComish and his associates, they state that introduction can happen in numerous ways. Tourism and recreational activities introduce this chemical into our environment. Activities like swimming, scuba diving, fishing tours, and even something as simple as running on the beach introduce this chemical into the waters. Donavero and his associates estimate that 4,000 to 6,000 tons of oxybenzone wash off of people into coral reefs per year. Wastewater and runoff are also forms of introduction. So anyone who applies sunscreen anywhere in the US or the world at that and goes home and takes a shower, washes the sunscreen off their body that contains that chemical, that water will most likely end up in the oceans at some point. The increase in population leads to the increase in pollution of this chemical. Improper chemical disposal and lack of regulation are more reasons why this chemical is being introduced to the coral reefs. And the cheapest and most available sunscreens are going to contain this chemical. Last, and possibly the most important point that I have during this speech, is how oxybenzone has adverse effects on our coral reefs. Special Chem states that the chemical causes viral infections in symbiotic organisms that cause bleaching of the coral reefs. The specific organism we're referring to is zooxanthellae, which is affected by an active lytic virus. This symbiotic organism contributes to the variety of colors that we see in our coral reefs. Bioaccumulation occurs due to the nature of this product, which adversely causes oxidative stress, slowing growth and development, causing abnormalities, and preventing reproductions of our corals. Special Chem also states that toxicity occurs at concentrations of 62 parts per trillion. To put that into reference for you, that's equivalent to 1 drop of water in an Olympic-sized pool. A study found that the concentrations to be 800 parts per million to 1.4 parts per trillion in coastal areas of Hawaii and the U.S. Virgin Islands. That is more than 12 times the concentration needed to cause adverse effects and damages that I just stated to these coral reefs. I hope you enjoyed listening to what oxybenzone is, how it's introduced into our coral reefs, and what effects it actually has on them. Thank you for listening.